You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss.
Good morning and welcome to another day trip from Paris. For once, I'm not rushing. I got here a little bit early, but as usual, we're leaving from Gare de l'Est, heading east of the city. So we're at the Eastern train station, which is like 2 blocks away from Gare du Nord, basically, which is a topic for another time. But in the meantime, today, we're going to Reims. Reims is how you say Reims. At least that's how it's spelled for an English speaker, and it's famous for its champagne. Today, it's going to be a little bit of a bubbly day, as voted on by my patrons. This whole trip is voted on by my patrons, so if you love it, make sure to thank them. Originally, back before COVID hit, Mark and Arnaud were going to go with me. They were the ones that went with me to Provence, but I've since upgraded and now I'm bringing Jess with me. So that'll be really good. She knows, you know the area, right? You're the expert.
Totally, I know everything.
But she's a wicked expert. If nothing else, definitely on champagne.
Definitely a drinker of champagne.
Definitely a bubbly expert. So we're going to hop on our train here. It's a direct train. It should only take us like an hour, right? Something like that, hour and 10 minutes. I'll let you know on the screen for sure. We'll see you in Reims, you know, else. I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah.
You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss.
As we understand it, well, thanks to Jess for bringing the coffee. As we understand it, we're allowed to have our little breakfast here and then put our masks back on afterwards. You're just not allowed to take. We're about to find out because the ticket lady is coming. Just not allowed to eat in the bar. Told that guy off, but not me, because I'm holding a coffee.
And you got nervous.
I need a straw.
That was a really fast train ride.
It really was.
Holy cow. Okay, we have our first champagne tasting at 9:30. That's a very, very early start.
I'm just going to finish my coffee before the champagne.
Originally, I was going to book, well, I'll talk about it once we get off the train. Actually, no, I won't, because we might be rushing now that I think about it. Originally, I was going to book a little bit later, so we would go get coffee, then champagne, then the cathedral, lunch, and then champagne again. That was my plan, but they're very finicky about their scheduling at some of these places, and the number one, Dom Perignon, was the one that we were supposed to go to. That was number one on my patrons' choices. They booked up while we were waiting to know where we were going. So today we're going to Reims and Pullman, right?
Yes.
Did I say it right?
I said it if I say yes confidently.
I'm glad she's confident. So anyways, we're gonna basically just go straight for all the champagne, hopefully hit the cathedral. We'll see what happens for lunch. Did you figure out what we're doing for lunch? You had one job.
We're eating things.
As time goes by.
Our planning for this might be a little weak. So we have 17 minutes to make it 2.7 kilometers away. We're gonna have to probably get a taxi. Hopefully they have taxis in the house. Ladies first.
Alors vous allez où?
Reims.
Reims.
Oui, s'il vous plaît.
On est parti.
Merci.
This is close to...
Yeah, we can just walk around the corner. Bonjour.
Bah, j'amène des clients.
Bonjour monsieur. On a un rendez-vous pour
Quel nom, s'il vous plaît?
Swanson.
C'est très bien. Je vous annonce.
Excellent. Yeah, it's really classy.
Voilà, messieurs.
Merci monsieur. Merci monsieur. Et bonne journée à vous. Here we are. First clients of the day.
Au revoir.
There you go. Ready to roll? She's just like waiting for us here.
You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. As time goes
Yep.
Legs after this trip. That's why you drink the champagne at the end.
That is right. It warms them up. You should wear your leggings. Oh, we don't get to go up there. Dang it. This is really cool. This tour's been really good. They've got a lot of family history because they say they're the first established champagne house, which I will look up to be sure, but this is really cool.
Since last year, so for a year, and it will stay for the next 90 years. Enjoy.
That was super cool. Okay, so the light show is my favorite part. I was trying to say that the whole tour has been really nice. I'll do a recap once we're through here maybe. Or maybe this is my chance to recap a little bit. She showed us where they basically do the whole process or how they do the whole process. And then this walk through the caves, through the cellars has been kind of just seeing the different areas they put different bottles of champagne and how they do with it. That was amazing though. Whew. Yeah, back into daylight. Apparently they were also like 200 meters away from the front lines of World War I, so they used those caves to hide, which is really fascinating. The whole thing, this is very nice, but I think we're about to do the champagne tasting. But it was really nice. It was a nice walk. Beautiful caves, and they've got quarries, huge quarries under there. Well, not huge maybe, but really deep quarries that they're able to use for ventilation. And that art installation, by far my favorite piece so far.
Are you finished, Mr. Slade?
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
Salut. Il est 17h quelque part. Donc, Oh, sorry. I'm so rude. I was looking at your eyes on the screen, don't I?
I was not even attempting.
Yeah. So this is not the vintage. This is like a 3-year. So they age this for 3 years, and the vintage they age for 7 to 8. And this is like definitely like darker, more saturated. I don't know what the flavor difference is going to be, but it all goes through the mustache the same. Put into double the price. That's all you're worried about. Jess is all about the non-vintage for the economic benefits.
I'm not gonna buy either of these.
You're not buying.
I mean, I'm not taking the knee from the gift. It's 70 euros for one and 150 for the other, and they are the vintage. This vintage is actually from 2007, so it's 13 years old, and it's good. I like the vintage because it feels lighter and like it's dispersing as soon as it hits my tongue, which is really nice. I'm not really very good at picking up the like individual flavors in champagne, so like that's a little harder for me to nail. Play your cards right. Come on, I mean, anyways, this has been great. We're not sure if we're going to be able to get into the next place because of scheduling conflicts. We're going to try, but if we didn't, this is a great experience on its own. We're going to get in. You've never not gotten in anywhere? The confidence on this woman and the sheer disappointment and the lack of my follow through on the buying of crates. Can I drink now? Here, can I drink one to do this? Oh. I've created the perfect method for. Well, that was really good. We met a whole bunch of French dudes that were on a work trip, which was really fun, and one Scottish chef on a super yacht, so that was pretty fantastic. If you guys see this, nice to meet you. We don't know what's happening with Palmeraie. We think we're going to be able to get in for a self-guided tour, but it's like lunchtime. Go for it. I'm not going to judge. She's like wanting to drink the rosé. We didn't get to try the rosé. It's one thing that we missed out on, but really nice tour. Ruinart, merci. Well, thanks for having us. Ruinart was really nice. They are the oldest champagne house in France, and honestly, I was talking yesterday in the Louvre about like inspiration for fantasy, like for the writing side of things. This is amazing. This tour alone, some stuff clicked for me, which was really great. But we're gonna go find lunch. They recommended a garden, like a brasserie garden around the corner. Gonna walk over there, get lunch, because otherwise it's gonna take us forever to get lunch. Walk back to Palmeraie, see if they let us go in, and hopefully we can do one more tour before we hit the train and make our way back to Paris. Okay, you want to play around? Oh, there's no insertion, so you just gotta go.
Oh, wait.
We've already lost it.
Is that because it's not actually?
I win! I scored for... This is where we're headed after lunch. Schmancy. If they let us in.
If you go down that road, you get to Europe.
Oh, look at that! You can go to Europe. We only took one wrong turn, so we're coming at this from the other direction. Just one wrong turn. My bad. We're going. So this is apparently like an offshoot of a much fancier restaurant. This is their brasserie in a garden.
It still looks a little fancy.
It still looks pretty fancy and exclusive.
There's a gate to go in. So.
There is a gate to get in here. So we're gonna go sit down, have a meal, prepare ourselves for another round of champagne.
Oh, we're gonna drink champagne during the meal, though, right?
Now we are. You are. I'll see what I do.
I'm not having a meal without wine.
Oh, well, you have your wine. Well, 5-star hotel. Yeah, so Menu Le Jardin. Yeah, so we're taking the 33 euro combo deal here. Random tip that I've given in videos before, menu in French doesn't mean menu, it means combo. It's a faux ami, it's a false friend, it doesn't mean the same thing.
You call that a combo?
We call that a combo in America. What do you call it? A brekkie dookie lagookie? I don't know, Australians have the funnest terms for everything though.
Shame on you, you macho.
Parmesan biscuits. Bet you never thought you'd hear me sing about Parmesan biscuits. This is fancy.
Flaky?
When you're spending the day out in Champagne, you gotta go a little bit fancy, right? I went with the gazpacho. What'd you get?
I have a tart for a tart.
A tart? You got fish. So glad I got the chicken. It's really good. Well, dinner at the Jardin was delicious, or lunch, yeah, lunch. Whatever it was good. The chicken, that was like a perfectly cooked chicken. I don't even know, was that a breast? What was that? Like what cut of chicken was that I just ate? I have no idea, but it was really, really good. Relaxed. We're gonna go over to Palmeraie. We gotta get some work done. This is a working trip, so we gotta sit on our computers. So that we're hoping that we can sit, have a glass of champagne, not mention at all that we missed our reservation by about 3 hours. We're gonna go see if they'll let us sit and work for a bit. And then we'll go check out the cathedral and then back to Paris. I love how much fun you're having with this. You're not, this isn't how you always walk? Lunch, the 5-star hotel part of our lunch extravaganza. I don't think I've ever eaten in a 5-star establishment before. That was a first. Also, sorry for the wind.
Does it count if you go to the garden bit?
Totally. We went to the budget version.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Palmer.
It's made with bits of real
Okay,
panther.
calm down.
So you know it's good. It's quite pungent. Oh, yeah. It stings the nostrils. In a good way. Yeah. Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline. 60% of the time, it works.
Dave, look rubber.
That doesn't make
We're
sense.
discussing it. How do you like my little ear flaps? Because we missed our reservation by so long, and because we're just kind of rushing right now, and we do need to get some computer time done. She's still working. We're asking if we can sit outside and have a drink instead of going down into the cab again. Although their cellars look really nice. There's so many champagne houses out here. Like you could come out here and do like tours for a week and not see them all. Is what it feels like. So we're gonna sit outside. This seems like a picturesque spot to do it. Hopefully with a little bit of a drink, and then yeah, ear flaps away. So then it gets complicated because we just want to sit and work, and so they're going to charge us like a slightly reduced rate to go inside for like a partial tour. Found a step there, but then like so we were going to have to pay 16 euros just to go inside, and then they weren't going to give us like a tasting. We were just going to be able to buy a glass because she really wants to like do a tasting of like a selection, which I would do that, but yeah, they give you a full glass instead of letting you taste like a little bit of everything. So we're just going to give up, I guess, for now, which is fine. We're going to go check out the cathedral because we've been told that it's amazing repeatedly, so I want to go see that, and then we'll go get some work done around there somewhere, I'm sure, before hopping back on the train and getting the flip out of Dodge. Oh, I thought you were going to say, oh look, we can sit on that chair.
Get a little view, isn't it?
Yeah, the cathedral looks nice. Well, Palmery, we'll try your champagne another day. Seems like there's a lot of interesting little nuggets in this town. We're almost to the cathedral. It's just around the corner. It's one of the oldest Gothic cathedrals in the country, maybe in the world. And it's also where they used to king the kings of France, to crown the, I was gonna say knight, you don't knight a king. They used to crown the kings of France. I swear I can speak English. I promise we haven't had champagne in at least like 2 or 3 hours. Oh man. Do you see that? Above the main door, they've got a coronation going on. Jesus crowning Mary, I'm guessing. It is Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame de Reims. Look at that modern gargoyle too. See that? The rat coming out of maybe another rat. Oh yeah, it's a moose or a. Definitely a fan of these. Yeah, the modern gargoyles there. And there we go. That is a beautiful cathedral. That was amazing. It's just nice to be able to go into a big Gothic cathedral since we can't go into ours right now. Kind of cathedral free. Mustache sweat. Okay, anyways. It's actually more that the mustache gets pushed down into, anyways. 2 mustache information, TMI. That was great. We're gonna find a spot to, well, should we go to the train station and see what's up there, or should we find a spot here to sit and work for a minute? We should probably figure out the train situation because we need to get back by a little bit. Anyways, that was Reims. We were joking about, you can't say it Reims. Did you hear that our tour guide called it Reims when she was speaking in English? So if you want to get away with it, I guess you can try that, because our French tour guide did call it Reims and she was lovely, but you can always say Reims, kind of like you rinse your mouth out with champagne. Is that how you put it? That was Jess's, so there you go. Did you have any fun facts from the cathedral you wanted to share? Did you learn anything? You got this.
Well, the kings were all crowned there, yes, for 1,000 years.
I think it was 37 kings, was it? It's a lot of kingy action. Overall, highly recommended. If you got some time to come, drink some champagne. Super cool. but we were definitely overambitious trying to do 2 in one day. You could do it. We just were going a little bit too far with it. Anyways, we had a great time. We're gonna go check out our train back to Paris. And thanks to my patrons. Oh, speaking of patrons, I was gonna do this earlier because my patrons are the ones that voted on us coming out here. But thanks to my patron producer, Richard Mortensen today. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you sending me out here. And thanks to all my patrons for sending us out here to try some champagne and to try our luck. Sorry we couldn't get a reservation at Dom Perignon and missed our reservation at, what was it? The one we missed it at? Pomeroy? Just totally.
I really need to go to one.
Turns out one's enough, but we had a grand old time. It was a really good time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for, yeah, a little bit more time in Paris. Have a nice day. Don't walk in front of a bus.